said watch out.
No, bro. Messed up. What if we go up here? It's a little tangled, but give me a second. See how it looks. Oh, wait a minute. That's good.
All right, let's just
Let's just roll. Who cares? Technically, we can lower it. You want to try and lower it?
Nah, just we don't have time. We
You're
gotta
right.
go.
If we want to do a pregame show. Okay. We are back here at Regency Furniture Stadium for all the original Ripken League fans, as the Southern Maryland Senators once played here on an everyday basis before moving to North Point High School, but they have returned to the home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs for the Ripken League postseason. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thunderbolts Baseball YouTube channel. I'm Patrick Moran, joined alongside Sam Bergstrom for a pregame show. Sam, we did this yesterday. We're doing it throughout the playoffs. Really exciting time for the T-Bolts coming off a 6-5 win in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Never a doubt. And it should be a fun one here today between the 3 and 8 seeds.
Absolutely, Patrick. As you said, 6-5 win last night. A truly inspiring victory, by far the most inspirational win for this Thunderbolts team all season, who have most definitely struggled, especially to end the regular season with that 4-game losing streak. But head coach Brock Hunter, he said, we're not too worried about where we stand in the regular season. All that matters is that we're ready to go in the playoffs. And wouldn't you know, the Thunderbolts were ready. They shot out the gate with a leadoff home run by Gabe Pagase. But I think most importantly, the big takeaway from that game is they were able to score at a steady pace. They didn't necessarily burst out with this huge lead and get complacent on defense. They were able to spread out the scoring a little bit, and the defense played brilliantly behind pitching and also the infield defense. And today, Emilio Rodriguez is going to look to follow up the poised pitching from last night. Erod has already made 2 starts against the Senators this season. One of them came on June 27th, where he had a season-high 9 strikeouts. That is the most strikeouts by any Thunderbolt this summer. The guy's clearly got disgusting stuff. He's got an amazing curveball. He's got the great fastball. It all just comes down to landing it in the zone, because this is a Senators team that leads the Ripken League in walks, and they're playing a Thunderbolts team who has issued the most walks this summer.
No doubt about it. Emilio Rodriguez facing the Senators for the first time this season. He was a midseason addition for Brock Hunter's pitching staff, and when he's going right, you mentioned that fastball-curveball combo. It is electric, and he can go 5 innings, low scoring runs, and 9 strikeouts. I mean, that's what they needed from him tonight as they're here in the postseason. It's do or die no matter what here in these games. And you look on the other side of that pitching matchup, Brody Juntonen had an immaculate inning the last time these two teams squared off, which was on July 20th, just 4 days ago. And my, oh my, what a performance that was. 4 1/3 innings pitched. He did give up a 3-run home run, but he only allowed 3 hits in that process, and he struck out 11. It was just pure dominance from the Senators' right-hander. He's going to be getting the ball here in what is their first playoff matchup. Considering they were a top 4 seed, they did not have to play in the play-in round. So this team is fresh, ready to go, and they're going to be hunting a win as well. And you look at a guy like Kai Lewin on the Senators side in 3 games against the Thunderbolt squad. He's got 4 hits, so he is ready to go, no doubt about it. And, this is a good Senators team. They proved that they were the number 3 seed all season long. 23-14 was their record, and they took the season series against the T-Bolts 4-0. Every game was by 1 run, interestingly enough, and 3 out of those 4 games were all the same scores, 7-6. So the T-Bolts can hang with the Senators, no doubt. But, obviously, playoffs, all you're doing is getting into the dance. Anything can happen in any baseball postseason.
Yeah, Patrick, me and Peter Kelly spoke before the Giants game. Said one of the big keys was protecting the lead. That especially rings true tonight against the Senators in all 4 matchups where they've squared off with Southern Maryland. The T-Bolts have taken at least a 3-run lead early on in the contest, but as you said, they lost by 1 in each and every game. And both times that the Thunderbolts have visited Waldorf, Maryland, they've been walked off. First on June 16th by a home run by James Carlson, and then by Kai Lewin earlier this week on Monday with a walk-off hit to seal the deal there. So it's really just going to come down to who is it going to be able to keep their cool the most, because the Thunderbolts, they've shown all season long that they can be an explosive offense. They showed it last night. But what they showed last night that was different from the regular season is being able to protect that lead and truly stick together as a group, have each other's backs on defense and just have fun. That's the point of summer ball, is having fun and showing your improvements that you make throughout the summer in terms of your mechanics, in terms of the play style, and in terms of your identity as a baseball player.
For sure, and you look on the Thunderbolts side, they've got a few hot bats against the Southern Maryland Senators, specifically Trent Lopez, who is in this starting lineup today, which we'll hit on soon. He had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs on June 16th. He was essentially a one-man wrecking crew in that game. You had Gabe Pagase with 3 RBIs in that one as well. Matthew Kim, everyone's favorite, just had a 3-run homer in Southern Maryland. So these bats are going to come to play, and the T-Bolts obviously can see some guys well on the Southern Maryland Senators team, and it's really a testament to this group that they can hang with what has been a team that is perennially in the Ripken League power rankings, being the best team out of the South. So, I'm sure the T-Bolts are excited to potentially get on the right side of these one-run games, no doubt about it, and they've got the tools to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think these two teams match up pretty evenly offensively. Both have struck out a similar amount of times this season. But the thing about the Senators is they have a slightly better defense. They've conceded 70 less runs than the Thunderbolts did in the regular season. And something also worth noting I think is important is, you mentioned, we're at Regency Furniture Stadium. The dimensions here a lot bigger, and that's going to help the T-Bolts defense out a lot. This summer, Southern Maryland has hit not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 home runs against the Thunderbolts, including 2 grand slams, which came at North Point High School. With these dimensions, it's going to be tough to get the ball out of the ballpark. So I think the Thunderbolts defense is definitely going to benefit from being in this new scenery. They can soak in the minor league atmosphere, channel their inner blue crabs and really get out there and do their best to take it to Olney.
And especially considering that the T-Bolts play in one of the most pitcher-friendly stadiums in the league, at Blair Baseball Stadium, they're not unfamiliar with these dimensions, but it's certainly going to help a guy like Emilio Rodriguez, the rest of this defense, as you mentioned. And I think we'll take a quick break for the national anthem and get right back to the pregame show. So after the national anthem, we're back here on the pregame show. One last thing I wanted to hit on was that Brock Hunter was pushing all the right buttons last night. Jacob Seek went 4 1/3, 3 strikeouts. Once things got a little bit shaky, he pulled him out of the game for Wade Hartrick, who had a fantastic 2 2/3 innings out of the bullpen, 4 strikeouts of his own. Fired up after his outing, and then when he called on some of the relievers, such as Calabrese and Aiden Watts. Once those two were losing command, he pulled the plug, and I think that's crucial in the postseason to have that short leash in a good way of that you want to win the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could definitely tell from Brock Hunter's demeanor yesterday. I was able to talk to him, and Brock Hunter's a very nice guy, but you could tell he was getting down to business yesterday. He was not joking around one bit. He's very serious about getting the win and advancing as far as he can in these playoffs. And as you said, he did a brilliant job making managerial decisions last night. Of course, when Aiden Watts surrendered those couple of runs, he immediately pulled the plug. And I think that having a guy like Emilio Rodriguez in there is going to be key, because this guy has shown that he can consistently go 4 or 5 innings. And that's exactly what Jacob Seek did last night. It was able to reserve some bullpen arms for today. Perhaps we'll see some new faces such as Josh Erd, such as Michael Presky, or maybe even E.J. Youngland, because he really didn't throw that many pitches last night. And I think something interesting as well is that we'll be seeing Kai Schmelzer catching instead of Mason Kelleher. Of course, Kelleher was brilliant on both sides of the dish last night, but Schmelzer, the 18-year-old, has showed his moxie all summer long. It's going to be fun to watch him catching tonight.
Well, we thank Sam Bergstrom for hopping on our pregame show, and now we will give way to Brian Alves, who will bring you the play-by-play for the first 3 innings of this game. We have a 3-man booth here tonight, rotating crew, but I will be joined alongside Brian for the first third of this game.
Well, goodbye, Gaithersburg, and hello, Waldorf, Maryland. The Thunderbolts have passed the first checkpoint of the Ripken League gauntlet by taking down the Giants last night, and here they are in their first matchup against the Senators in the playoffs. First pitch inbound, Brady Juntanen to Gabe Pagase is in for strike number 1. As my colleagues mentioned, Juntanen just made his start against the Thunderbolts in the last game of the regular season and put up 10 strikeouts. This is a guy that knows how to land in the zone. He had an immaculate first inning the last time these two teams played, as Pagase fouls this one off for strike 2. So far, already on track, 0-2 in the count. We have a minor league baseball stadium for the environment tonight, and you surely can't pack out these stands, but still hear the energy throughout. The 0-2 is chopped by Gabe Pagase. Over at short and throwing over to first base for the first out are the Southern Maryland Senators. And it's Chase Fulford making the play at short, throwing it over to first base James Lehman. That's the first out recorded in the 1-2-3. Gabe Pagase, Caleb Sturdivant, Trent Lopez leading off for the Thunderbolts in the top of the first.
Well, Juntanen was electric his last time out, as I mentioned. So I'm sure he's going to be even more juiced up for this outing here in a playoff setting for a team that he can already pitch well against.
So next up, Caleb Sturdivant. These T-Bolts trying to start early. Off first pitch, it's chopped right back to Chase Fulford, and he's got an even easier play his second time around than the first. 4 pitches, 4 strikes, 2 put out by Chase Fulford. And Brady Juntanen, once again, starting off strong. Trent Lopez going to try to break that theme. This is the exact same 3 guys that Brody faced in that immaculate inning in the exact same spots in the lineup. Lopez, a guy that's familiar against the Senators. He's played now 4 games against them as he swings for strike number 1. The Senators line up defensively. Out in center field, Jack Ewart, Bryce Palms to his left. In right field, of course, Kai Lewin, the hero of the last game. As we get ready for the second pitch to Lopez, he fouls this one softly for strike number 2, already 0-2. In the infield, third baseman Jackson Hayes, Chase Fulford at short. At second base, Cole Ram. And at first, making the first out and the second out, James Lehman. Of course, Zach Anderson doing the catching, and at pitcher, Brody Juntanen. Oh, 2 to Trent Lopez. And that's how we'll end this first inning. 3 up, 3 down. Juntanen strikes out Lopez and once again does not record a ball in his first inning against the Thunderbolts. Scary sights as the Senators take home their first 3 outs and will be back up to bat for the first time these playoffs.
The Tacoma Torch, founded in 2019, brings laughter and a sense of fun to residents in the Tacoma Park and DMV area. The Tacoma Torch features satirical articles about the region that those with a sense of humor can appreciate. Send a headline or idea their way to tacomatorch@gmail.com and watch what they do with it. The Tacoma Torch is on the web at tacomatorch.com. Tacoma Torch, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring is the best chicken in the world because it uses peri-peri sauce. From chicken on the bone to wraps and sandwiches, along with salads and veggie options, Nando's is your choice for great food. Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
We are back in Waldorf, Maryland. Playoff baseball. Once again, the first time for the Senators at the 3 seed versus the 8-seeded Thunderbolts. And who does Brock Hunter go to today on the mound? He goes to Emilio Rodriguez. Recently named a Clarion player after playing his time at LaSalle. It's going to be Rodriguez to face the Senators. And the Senators, 1 through 9, is a scary one. Starting off with Chase Fulford leading off, James Lehman at the 2, Cole Ram at the 3 playing second base. At the cleanup spot, Jackson Hayes. Doing the catching and hitting at the 5 is Zach Anderson. Kai Lewin, the Grand Slam hero, at the 6. Ethan Adams DHing at the 7. And Bryce Palms and Ewert rounding us out at the 8 and the 9. The Thunderbolts defensively are going to line up with Emilio Rodriguez at pitcher. Doing the catching, Kai Schmelzer in place of Mason Kelleher, who catched last night. Out in center field, Gabe Pegues manning the outfield. To his left, Trent Lopez. To his right, Griffin Puval. Nolan Kutney back at third base. Sam Camacho holding down shortstop once again. And at second, Matthew Kim. First, Connor Fricke. So the exact same lineup as yesterday, but with Kai Schmelzer in at catcher.
Well, it's a lineup that worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I respect Brock Hunter kind of sticking to his guns here.
We saw a defense from this team yesterday that we hadn't seen all summer. Guys were holding it down. Sam Camacho at short, Connor Fricke at first. As there's the first pitch, hit softly. Emilio Rodriguez going to pick it up. Do a little toss to first base for out number 1. The underhand scoop gets out Chase Fulford for the first out of the ball game on the first pitch in the bottom of the first.
Well, that's the best type of tone setter right there for Emilio Rodriguez. 1 pitch, 1 out. You don't want it to be any other way if you're a pitcher, and especially in a postseason setting. You want to set that tone against the lineup you're facing.
With Brody Juntanen pitching the way he does, Emilio Rodriguez is going to have to match it step for step, maybe even advance even farther if the Thunderbolts want a chance today. Moving into the 2 spot is James Lehman. First pitch to Lehman is swung on and missed. Big time first 2 pitches for Rodriguez. He's going to have to work the fastball and the off-speed perfectly today. This is a Southern Maryland team that has not lost to the Thunderbolts at all this season. Second pitch to Lehman. Just misses on the left-hand side for a ball. Last time out, when the Thunderbolts got walked off 7-6, James Lehman was also at the 2 spot. He went 0 for 4. Apologies for the camera. It fell down from its spot. We will have it right back up in a second. 2-1 is the count from Rodriguez. We'll take it radio until we have the coverage. That one a strike to Lehman for strike number 2. Lehman going to head out of the box and reset. So 2-2 the count. Fouled away by Lehman. He stays alive once again. Steps back in. We'll do the 2-2 again. Lehman gets a piece of it. Tracking it is Gabe Pagase and Trent Lopez, or excuse me, Griffin Puvel. Puvel makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Thunderbolts so far. Now it's Cole Rame, the Richmond Spider, who's going to step in. This was originally an A-10 matchup between LaSalle and the Spiders, but now Rodriguez committing to Clarion following his teammates on the Bolts. But the experience from LaSalle going to have to pay off for him here. First pitch is inside for a ball. Cole Rame certainly played his best against these Thunderbolts last time out. And that 7-6 win that the Thunderbolts lost, as we have the second pitch here. I'll get back to that in a second. That's just missing for a ball. Cole Rame only went 1 for 5. Rodriguez settles back in. The pitch is swung on and fouled for strike number 1, 2-1 the count.
Well, of course, Cole Rame's Richmond Spider teammate, Christian Dre, was on the other side for Silver Spring Tacoma, but his season ended early, unfortunately.
Swung on and missed from Rame for strike number 2, and the game that I was looking for was the one previously at home from the Thunderbolts, the last home game that they played the Senators at. Rame had 4 RBIs. He went 2 for 5 in that game, but also struck out twice as he strikes out for the first time here. Similar territory. 1-2-3 go the Senators. And Rodriguez looks strong so far to start. We'll see Brody Juntonen back on the mound for the top of the second. 0-0 is still the ballgame.
United Therapeutics in Silver Spring develops pharmaceuticals and technologies that help patients in need of organ transplantation. United Therapeutics is guided by the principles of always striving to do the right thing and relentlessly pushing to always do better. As a result, the company was included among America's best companies by Forbes magazine. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring has been dishing up deli classics since 1963. The Parkway Deli is a family business, and their family loves to bring great food and service to yours. The Parkway Deli is open 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Brody Juntonen back on the mound for inning number 2. And let's rewind to his last outing against the Thunderbolts, the last game of the regular season 3 nights ago. He went 4 1/3, gave up 3 hits and 3 earned runs, all coming from that Matthew Kim 3-run home run. Did walk 1, but had 11 strikeouts. He faced 16 batters and totaled 56 pitches, but 11 strikeouts. So he's well rested for the start today, and he's certainly seen these Thunderbolts well so far this season. They're going to have to do their best. Matthew Kim at the 9 spot today. He was also in that 9 spot the last time these two, or the 8 spot the last time these two teams play. We'll see if he can get another nice swing on him. But for now, 4, 5, 6 is the order. Sam Camacho Jr., Griffin Puvel, and Nolan Kutney. Apologies once again for the camera. Trying our best to keep it stable here in a tough position. First pitch to Camacho. He swings at it, sending back to third base, but thrown over to first for an out. Lehman has to stretch all the way out to catch that one at first, but keeps his foot on the bag as third baseman Jackson Hayes was pulled back as far as he could and still was able to make it over.
Well, it was an impressive stretch by Lehman on the back end. And first base defense doesn't get enough credit. As, you know, the dynamic of this inning could be completely different if that play is not completed.
So now Griffin Puvel He's going to bunt. This one catches high in the sky, but drops down in foul ball territory right by the logo on third base. So chasing after it was catcher Zach Anderson. He's going to have to head back for strike number 1. Griffin Puvel was huge yesterday for the Thunderbolts. That was a game they needed to win, and Puvel had one of his best outings. He had a huge double to score a run and had some great defensive work in right field. Now he's up against the Senators as he swings and fouls this one back. A couple players in this lineup had not faced Brody Untinen yet. Puvel was one of them. He was not in that 1 through 9 that Untinen worked through and struck out every single batter in outside of Matthew Kim and Kai Schmelzer. But Puvel will be a strikeout victim for the second one of the game. Another inning, another strikeout. There's 4 outs recorded by Untinen, 2 of them coming from Ks.
Puvel is just the type of player where you're betting on the tools and the upside to play in a postseason setting. All he needs to do is match the moment. He's one of the more talented players on this Thunderbolt squad, and he could really shine in a playoff setting.
This one hit first by Kutney, out in foul ball territory. It's going to get out with no play made. First baseman Lehman was running over to go get it, but the play was not able to be made. And Kutney, another batter that didn't get to face against Brody, but he's going to have to do his best to just catch up to these pitches inside the zone. Doesn't miss the zone often. As once again, the fastball is swung on and missed by Kutney. Quickly 0-2 once again. Still no balls thrown in this young ball game.
Pretty remarkable that the postseason nerves aren't getting to either of these starters.
And as I say that, there's the first ball. The Thunderbolts will take that every day of the week.
Well, Announcer Jinx playoff edition, right? Right as you start talking about it, it comes true.
So Untinen bleeds just a little bit. And did Kutney go around? He did not. Big time take from Nolan Kutney. He holds back the bat. So back-to-back balls. And that was a tough one to lay off of. A really nice off-speed pitch that almost caught the zone.
Well, Kutney's a guy where you're betting on the veteran presence. He's been around this team, and he knows what it takes.
He swings and misses. It doesn't matter. Untinen, once again, providing a strikeout, his third of the game, back-to-back Ks. He goes 2 scoreless. We'll head to the bottom of the second and see if the Senators can break this spell. 0-0 in a playoff ballgame.
Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store, with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Tacoma Park, White Oak, and Silver Spring. Family owned and operated since 1971, specializing in diamonds, custom engagement rings, repairs, engravings, and cash for gold. Go to silverspringjewelers.com for more information. Silver Spring Jewelry, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Sky Point Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Sky Point believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether opening your first account or planning for your future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring. More at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
Well, the Senators are back up for their second outing of hitting. And this is an offense that has produced all summer long. Top 3 in every offensive category, including being first in walks this season. The Thunderbolts can't be giving any free passes today. So far, none given. All the first 3 batters Emilio Rodriguez faced were sent down. But we will start up the bottom of the second. And the order will go this: Jackson Hayes, Zach Anderson, and Kai Lewin. Two of those three guys hit a home run the last time up. Zach Anderson hit a solo shot. Kai Lewin hit a grand slam. First pitch just misses inside. Jackson Hayes sees his first pitch well. Big first at bat in the bottom of the second. There's strike number one. And the Senators have hitters all across this lineup. It's not the best lineup that they'll put out. A lot of guys having to head home for the summer. No Bud Coombs, no Jackson Nichols, no Conlon Taylor. That one got away for ball number 2 from Kai Schmelzer.
Well, you can't say it enough. The Southern Maryland Senators team is just really good all around. They're the best the Southern Division of the Cal Ripken League has to offer. So, of course, they're going to be really good across a lot of different areas.
Nice pitch by Rodriguez. Doesn't get the call. Misses on the right-hand side of the plate.
Well, Schmelzer wanted to make it look good. Try and get it on the outside part. Didn't quite get it there, though.
This one swung on. Tracking it in right field is Griffin Puval. He's got plenty of time. He steps in a little bit and catches it for the first out. Jackson Hayes goes back to the dugout. So Zach Anderson will step in for him. As I mentioned, hit a solo shot the last time these two teams played. And it was very, very timely in that third inning. Kai Lewin hit the grand slam. He'll be on deck. And after the grand slam, they needed one more run to keep it going. And then that bottom of the third, Zach Anderson was that guy.
Kind of surprising to see a 3-1 swing there, like the T-Bolts defense so far.
Well, here's a first pitch swing in between Cade Pegues and Matthew Kim, but Pegues calmly catches it. And efficiency, the name of the game right now for Rodriguez.
Well, these two defenses have to lock in. That's what playoff baseball is. I mean, you can't make mistakes along the margins. You have to be able to play the small ball, get those runners over and in, keep the defense locked tight. That's just the nature of the beast right now. It's a whole different atmosphere that these two teams are playing in. And the T-Bolts are doing a great job of keeping it fundamentally sound.
How about Kai Lewin coming in for his first at-bat? He was hitting in the 7th spot the last time these two teams played, but he's moved all the way up to the 6. Huge gap between 7 and 6. Swing and a miss from Lewin. But Lewin hit a walk-off that, you could have argued was an error, but was called a hit. And he hit a grand slam. So really 5 runs produced himself. A Trent Lopez type of game the other way around when he had 5 RBIs against the Senators. He was the hero in that game, as this pitch is outside 2-1 now. Lewin has been a solid addition to the Senators team all season, a perfect role player, but now he's stepping up big time with a lot of guys leaving the lineup, as that one's inside for ball number 3.
Well, as I mentioned in the pregame show, Kai Lewin has played in 3 out of the 4 games these two teams have squared off in, and he's got 4 hits, a hit in each game, along with that grand slam and a walk-off.
One pitch away was Rodriguez from giving his first free pass, but Lewin swung at it and hit it foul. So our first full count of the game. Not too worrisome from Rodriguez, who's only pitched 21 so far. Here's the full count. Swung on and missed by Lewin. And once again, Rodriguez goes 1, 2, 3. And back-to-back first 2 innings. We stay scoreless. We got a pitcher's duel going on so far. And the Thunderbolts will try to break that spell in the top of the 3rd. This is playoff baseball. Defense, the name of the game so far. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, helps people turn their dreams into their new forever home. Whether it's a renovation, addition, or a new home, Ben will assist you in picking colors and finishes. He'll explain building codes, zoning requirements, and materials that stress energy efficiency. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center in downtown Silver Spring presents the best in American and world cinema. They show classic American mysteries from the black and white era as well as the most modern digital content from around the world. The AFI Silver Theater also features filmmaker interviews, panel discussions, musical performances, and more. The AFI Silver Theater at 8633 Colesville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Well, what a pitcher's duel we've had so far. Neither of these guys giving even an inch in this battle. Brody Juntonen, 2 innings down, no runners on base, and Emilio Rodriguez matches it. You know, you could argue that Juntonen has done it a little bit cooler or a little bit more, or a little smoother if you want to say, but both pitchers doing their job, putting up goose eggs on the scoreboard. And it's up to one of these teams to find a way to break that first run. Connor Fricke is going to step up first for the Thunderbolts. It'll go Fricke, Schmelzer, and Kim. And Kim, as I mentioned, his first time up against Brody, hit a 3-run home run, and that was when the run started for both teams last game. Thunderbolts took a 3-0 start. As Fricke hits on the first pitch, there's the first base runner. Goes right in between right field and center field. There you go. Connor Fricke, a guy that was not able to reach base with a hit yesterday, does it right there. And that's why you play him. He's got first base defense, and he sees the ball well.
It's a great hit to the opposite side by Connor Fricke. Love to see that as a coach and that ability to go the opposite way. And now he's on first. That's a great tone setter here in this inning. It's all about momentum. Who can pick it up quicker and keep it for longer?
Well, quickly, this one's hit over to third. Choosing to just go to first base to get Kai Schmelzer is third baseman Jackson Hayes. Decided not to take a look at Fricke at second for the double play. So you'll take that from Kai Schmelzer. He moves over the runner to second with 1 out, and now Matthew Kim is up to the plate.
Well, it was just kind of a tough hop. Jackson Hayes didn't really have an option to try and turn 2 and throw it around the horn. But at least you get 1 out. That's huge in a spot like this.
First pitch to Kim. Freezes him for strike number 1. Kim, I've already mentioned it so many times, but he's come alive. He had a huge triple that ended up scoring him on a inside the park home run on the error thrown into the dugout yesterday. And the last time these two teams faced, as I mentioned, he hit one off the scoreboard at North Point High School. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch, excuse me. 1-1 the count. Kim has been the veteran game changer so far in these playoffs. He's hitting at the 9 spot once again for the second game in a row, but certainly doesn't feel like it. That one upstairs for another ball. So against Juntonen, he was able to hit a 3-run home run and then walk. The only undefeated hitter against him so far. 2-1 the count. Fricke on second. Juntonen deals, and that's fouled off by Kim. 2-2 the count. Number 2, Matthew Kim, can break this seal. If not him, Gabe Pagase up next. Only 1 out so far. Top of the third on a cloudy afternoon. Kim skies this one into the air. Running back is Anderson, and he's just going to have to watch it go into the stands.
Matthew Kim is on a heater. His last 2 games, he has touched all 4 bases on 1 play. He had that 3-run homer against the Southern Maryland Senators, and then in the playoff game, had the electric inside the park home run, as we like to call it. I mean, to have that type of thump at the bottom of the lineup is really exciting, especially at this point in the season.
Kim is frozen for the first time against Juntonen for strike 3. Just caught the inside part of the plate, and there's the second out. A big bounce back out against Kim. But we will go to the top of the order. Gabe Pegace back up. And Pegace was able to at least get one hit against Untinen. Struck out his first 2 times, but the third time around, singled off of him up the middle. A single would drive in Connor Fricke in this scenario. Here's the first pitch. Lands in for a strike, and it just seems like that first pitch is always going to get in there for a strike.
Well, it's huge for a pitcher to get that. I mean, I know I've said it so much, but setting the tone on an at-bat to at-bat basis is huge.
Pegace is able to even up the count with a taken pitch downstairs for a ball. It's hard to talk about how great of a performance he had last night when he really does it on the regular, but he went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, 2 runs, a solo home run, and a walk as he fouls that off to stay alive. Now 1-2.
Well, that's just a day at the office for Gabe Pegace. He can really do it all on a baseball field, which has served the T-Bolts quite well throughout this season.
Pegace softly fouls this one. The Thunderbolts certainly have a hill to climb in these playoffs. And a high climb for the Giants, but they were able to take them down. Now, facing off against the Senators, if they win this game, they'll have to face only in a best of 3. But right now, the Senators standing right in front of them in black and white. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs for a ball. Non-competitive pitch there. Would have thought that Juntinen would have went for off speed, off the plate to try to get Gabe to swing and miss. We'll do it again. Chopped to shortstop. Chase Fulford throws it over, and another really nice catch at first base from James Lehman. Keeps the toe on as he extends out to catch the ball. There's the third out. The Thunderbolts did get 1 base runner in Connor Fricke, but he's stranded on second base. And the Senators, another scoreless inning, will head to the bottom of the third to try to break their scoreless run.
Koa Sports in Gaithersburg, Maryland is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. Koa Sports aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and as a person. They also help your student athlete in the classroom, on the playing field, and anywhere in between. Learn more about Koa Sports at koasports.org. Koa Sports is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Parkview Capital believes your financial strategy should reflect more than the numbers. It should reflect you. As a trusted investment advisory firm, Parkview Capital partners with individuals and families to build and protect wealth, and Parkview Capital personalizes strategies rooted in your values and long-term goals. Whether you're growing your portfolio or preserving a legacy, Parkview Capital crafts a clear, customized path to your financial future, one that evolves with you. Parkview Capital, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
We're back in for another inning of Emilio Rodriguez. It's been a short but sweet summer for him with the Thunderbolts. 2 games started, 5 appearances, and in those 5 appearances, he's gotten busy. 23 strikeouts, and he totaled his highest strikeouts against the Senators. 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs, but 9 strikeouts total. So both teams really know how to deal one in the K department. We are at the Blue Crabs home here in Waldorf, Maryland, a minor league baseball team. And not too many people have come out so far tonight, but it's hard to fill out these seats at a minor league stadium. But the Thunderbolts and Senators have a fun scoreless pitcher's duel so far. First pitch swung on. Running over to go get it is Griffin Pouvel. He's been busy in right field, and once again he does his job. That was Ethan Adams who flied out. He's once again doing the DHing as he did last time these two teams played.
Feels like these lineups are kind of carbon copies of what these teams have been up to lately. And I actually looked in a old program of the T-Bolts. Back in 2024, Emilio was with this team. So he has come back after taking a year off.
Rodriguez Just catches the zone on the bottom or middle left side of the strike zone. Nice first pitch to Bryce Palms. Second pitch, a little low. It'll even up the count 1-1. Bryce Palms actually a pitcher. He's out there in left field today. He does some hitting, but the Senators certainly missing a lot of guys that they've seen this summer. Thunderbolts trying to take advantage of that. As here's the 1-1, swung on and missed by Palms.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, he was a two-way guy in high school. Went to DeMatha Catholic in Hyattsville, Maryland. And he was a great player for the Stags, taking his talents now to Youngstown State.
Swung on. Is it going to catch fair? It doesn't. Just about 3 to 4 yards off of that line out in left field. So we'll do the 1-2 again. A little bit of a scare, but no matter. And the last time these two teams played, Palms did not get action, but was able to pitch in the time before when the Thunderbolts were at home. And now he's back up as a hitter as he fouls that one off to keep it alive.
It's just cool to see him continue the two-way skills at the collegiate level and in the D1 ranks, mind you.
That one bounces in for the second ball. He evens up the count after 2 fouls. And in that game that he pitched, the Southern Maryland Senators obviously took that one 7-6, and Palms struggled a little bit. He went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, but he's trying his hardest with the bat today as that just misses the left side of the strike zone for the third ball. Another full count for Rodriguez. Big pitch here. Still hasn't given up his first base runner. Here's the 3-2. Palms gets a piece of it. Running over in left field to go get it, but it drops in and gets behind Trent Lopez. Palms is going to head to second. There's the first hit. And it's a double for the Senators. Rodriguez gives it up one batter after Brody Juntunen did, but this one is a double that the Senators could work off of with 1 out.
Kind of just hitting an awkward spot by Bryce Palms. It was a little too far out for Cutney and a little too far in for Trent Lopez. And he wound up missing the ball, letting Bryce Palms get an extra 90 on that. And the Senators are going to take it. I mean, the way this game's going, you got to take what they give you.
First pitch to Jack Ewert to round out this order is inside for a ball, and Ewert did really everything but score the last time these two teams played. He was out in left field, went 2 for 3 with 2 walks. So he was left on base 4 times, but certainly got there plenty. The 1-0 swung on and goes right over our heads. Might have been a jump scare for you guys back at home if you saw the ball just come at you like that.
May have been.
I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments. But that one fouled away for the first strike. 1-1 the count. Palms at second. Rodriguez will check him, throws it over, and just missing for another ball. 2-1 the count. That probably could have been misleading. He didn't check him at second base. He threw it over to home plate. Checked him with his eyes. Here's the 2-1. Swung on once again for another foul behind him. This time to the right-hand side, 2-2.
So not a jump scare for our audience.
Yeah, you guys can breathe just a little bit more.
That's right. It's really cool to be up here and in the press box at Regency Furniture Stadium. Nice to have some space in the official press box.
Swung on and missed. There's strike 3. Emilio Rodriguez gets his second out, bounces right back after giving up a double. And he's doing what he does best, bringing the K's.
Well, we're seeing the good version of Emilio so far, and the command has not gotten the best of him. He's either going to give you 5 innings, 9 strikeouts as he did earlier in this season, or the walks could kind of just eat him alive. And he's kind of somewhere in between, which is good.
Chase Fulford is going to start this order off once again. Was not able to reach base that first time. And Rodriguez trying to match exactly the tempo he did the first time he faced all these batters. He got all of them out except for Palms, who doubled. 2 quick balls, now 2-0 the count. Palms still standing on second with a good leadoff. Rodriguez looks him over. Here's the pitch. High for a ball once again, and Kai Schmelzer is going to come take a visit real quickly with the count 3-0 for Rodriguez.
Makes sense to have a mound meeting here. The margins are just so thin. You know, whenever something may be slightly off, you got to take the time to correct it. And Kai Schmelzer's really taken that initiative as a rising freshman at Gulf Coast State, which is just great to see. The fact that he already has that confidence in himself as a catcher to handle the pitching staff.
So 3-0 the count. We'll get back started to Fulford. And that one misses. Looked like a good pitch, but looked like it was called low. And Chase Fulford reaches the top of the order with a little bit of a different result this time. The walk gets it to 1-2, first and second. And now James Lehman comes in for his second time around.
Well, I think the batter was expecting that ball four to be, or strike to be called, I should say. But instead, Jack Ewert's going to extend this inning. That was Chase Fulford, pardon. And now with the heart of the order starting to creep in, you never know what can happen.
First pitch to James Lehman is off speed and outside for ball number 1. Lehman has certainly stretched out his legs at first base so far. 2 acrobatic holds at first to keep that foot on the base. And he's going to just chop this one perfectly right in front of Trent Lopez, running around his palms. The throw in is not going to be on time. The Senators strike first, something that they haven't done at all against the Thunderbolts this season. But what they have done is won every single game. But for the first time this summer, the Senators lead the Thunderbolts to start the game. 1-0 in the bottom of the third.
Well, of course, the runners are going to be off on contact for Southern Maryland. Bryce Palm's not the fastest guy, but able to score there. And well done on both sides. Senators, good team, score with 2 outs. And the T-Bolts keeping the defense locked tight.
First pitch, just missing to Cole Ram.
You'll probably see him this spring as a Richmond Spider when your VCU Rams square off the Virginia battle or whatever that rivalry is called.
Just a Richmond one. Thrown over to first to try to get back an out, but Lehman is in there. Good back pick by Kai Schmelzer, keeping him honest, and great catch by Connor Fricky to make sure it doesn't get away. Rodriguez deals. This pitch is in there for a strike. And the Spider 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. As I said, it would have been an A-10 duel if Rodriguez didn't transfer to Clarion. But regardless, both have had experience in the Atlantic 10 Conference as dancing on second base is Fulford. He comes back. Now when missing once again for a ball. Rodriguez is in and around the zone, even on these misses. You like the stuff you were seeing from him. Not missing by much, but the Senators just doing a really good job of not swinging at pitches that aren't in the strike zone.
So unorthodox for Emilio that he went from D3 to D1, and now he's at a D2 program. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Well, he's just looking to get more playing time, be a bigger piece of the team. 2-2 the count. And he's been a gem for the Thunderbolts so far this summer. Like I said, short but sweet summer he's had. ERA is just over 4 in 5 appearances, and the strikeouts have been there. Chase Fulford takes off for third. Kai Schmelzer strikes out the batter, so it doesn't matter. Cole Ram goes down on strikes for the second time to Rodriguez, and that'll end the inning. The Southern Maryland Senators get on the board to break the 0-0 seal. It's 1-0 as we're going to head to the top of the fourth.
Dan Metcalf has long been a supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Now he's at a new location, the Finn Family Group of Perennial Real Estate. If you want to find that perfect home in the perfect community, then the Finn Family Group is for you. The Finn Family Group believes in community, and they bring that sense of community when working with clients to find homes in the Silver Spring Tacoma Park area. Call them today at 301-450-6999. The Finn Family Group, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The Athletic House on 18952 Bonanza Way in Gaithersburg is a promotional product distributor making mugs, pens, t-shirts for advisors. The Athletic House can supply your company with every possible promotional product from 3,000 suppliers. With so many ad specialties available, the Athletic House can help leave a lasting impression with your customers, and they'll create a long-lasting relationship with your clients. Athletic House, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Well, we're here for the fourth inning, the middle third of this ball game. We'll do a little bit of a line change and hear from Brian Alves in the back third, but Peter Kelly is now joining us. He was keeping track of the game in our booth space next to us. This game's moved pretty quickly, Peter. We're less than an hour in, and we're a third of the way through. So what do you think you've taken away from what's turned into a pitcher's duel?
Yeah, I've taken away that Brody Johnson and Emilio Rodriguez are just really good at this. Two guys that are familiar with the opposition, and both of their last time outs went really well against the other team. And sometimes that may play to the advantage of the hitter, seeing a pitcher for a couple times in a season. But I think today it's showing you that the pitchers, more so than the hitters, have gotten back in a rhythm against a familiar opponent. And if that's going to be the case today, it's trouble for the T-Bolts because Senators have taken all four of those games, all one-run games, but Senators have been one of the best all-around teams in the league this year.
First pitch to Caleb Sturdivant in their strike one. Sturdivant has not seen the field since returning from injury, but the Millersville Marauder can make an impact either way on this ball game. Next pitch is in there, ball one. Sturdivant does go around. No appeal on the check swing, strike two. That one is going to be hit foul over the screen behind home plate. And that'll get a piece of Sturdivant. So he'll reach with a leadoff walk here in the top of the fourth. Now turning things over to Trent Lopez, who has seen some action in left field already in this game. Trent has a 2-homer game against the Southern Maryland Senators earlier in this season. He'll swing and miss there, looking for one. The outfielder out of Cornell University, but a native of Chevy Chase, Maryland, went to VCC High School with the Barons. That is going to be hit the other way. That might get down. It instead will be caught by Kai Lewin. Now the first out of the inning for the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Caleb Sturdivant will stay right where he is.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest difference today with the new venue, is that really everywhere just has more room to spare. In right field, basically straightaway right field, that's about 375 feet, because it takes a sharp angle back after the foul pole Left field's about 320, but you've got the high wall out there, and it's a professional/minor league park. It's a park that has professionals playing in it with wooden bats, but for the most part, you got to get used to this if you're going to hopefully ascend to a high level. Another thing to note is how much space there is behind home plate. Just a massive backstop that the catchers have to deal with.
And that padding will certainly soften up the baseball when it gets to that point. So it's not like catchers can bank on a ricochet. Caleb Sturtevant takes off. He is safe. The throw just a little bit high from Zach Anderson down to Cole Rahm, who is covering second on that play. And the Marauder takes off. He's got himself a stolen base here in this game, putting a runner in scoring position for Silver Spring Tacoma. Now it's the newly minted shortstop, Sam Camacho, who they've turned to in the 6-hole down the stretch. He'll take strike one. It's kind of a question if the defense would translate after being a great defensive third baseman for pretty much the entire regular season before. Within the last 5 games, he made the move to short. That's going to be popped up to center. And Jack Ewart, no problem tracking it down for out number 2.
But that ball was well hit, too. That's probably hit about 350, 355 feet. About 50 feet in front of that 400 sign. And just the difference playing here because the outfielders feel like they have to play back. The perceptions are a little bit different with how far the fences are. If you're playing at North Point High School, which is where the Senators played this year, there's a chance that ball gets to the wall and maybe even gets over the center fielder because they'd be playing it.
Now Griffin Puvel, another veteran of this team, takes one outside. Ball 1. The rising senior at Ryder will bring one of his T-Bolt teammates with him in Matthew Calabrese, who recently committed there. And Puvel now in his last season of eligibility with the Ripken League. He swings and misses strike 1. Unless he ends up being a grad student, which you never know. He won't be able to play as a player, but maybe he would consider going as a coach. That is going to be hit down the line. If it's fair, it would score a run, but it is foul. Caleb Sturtevant was absolutely in motion on that pitch. Would have had no problem if he took home plate.
Real nice night from Puvel last night. One of the big reasons why the T-Bolts were able to pull out that win. Had an RBI double in the 5th inning to bring in some insurance. Every run mattered because of how that 9th inning went.
Certainly played a big part. As that's going to be strike 3. Puvel took that pitch all the way. The T-Bolts dugout in disbelief at that call, but gets the Senators off the field. Brody Juntonen now through 4 scoreless. And we'll see the T-Bolts retake the field here in the bottom of the 4th at Regency Furniture Stadium.
The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service, advanced equipment for balancing and installation, and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levin's is family-run and is famous for instrument sales and its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
So Emilio Rodriguez takes the mound for the first time as the T-Bolts are down, or he's been out there since that happened. The Senators got that run in the bottom of the 3rd. So he's going to look to keep the score right where it is. Defense has looked sharp today. No real mishaps so far. But the Senators got to be feeling good as they've got the momentum on their side. Now it'll be the Yale Bulldog Jackson Hayes hitting cleanup in this lineup, followed up by the 5 and 6 hitters Zach Anderson and Kyle Wynn. First pitch is in there, strike one. We have a bit of a broader zone today, but that's going to work into the pitcher's favor. Next pitch, though, undisputable outside near the other batter's box for a ball. Emilio winds and fires. That misses just inside, ball two. Another pitch coming on the 2-1. Another pitch just inside, ball three. Jackson Hayes in his one at bat so far has not gotten a hit, but he will take a free pass. Ball four from Emilio Rodriguez puts the leadoff man on. Turns things over to the Jacksonville catcher, Zach Anderson. Brock Hunter's going to go out there, have a word with his right-hander. Brock had a way shorter leash last night in Gaithersburg when things started to go even a little bit south for his arms. He was quick to pull the plug. And now he's just going out there as the pitching coach, but still, you're going to micromanage a game no matter what.
Yeah, win or go home, you got to put all your cards on the table. So if Brock feels like it's not going well and he's got a better option in the bullpen, he's going to make that change. But I think right now the answer is that Rodriguez is going to give you the best chance to win in this moment. We'll see how much longer he goes out there. And when the pitch count gets up, it's approaching 50 right now as we're here in the fourth inning. So it probably won't be too long. There's no reason to keep him out there. Everyone should be fresh except for probably the guys that threw the bulk of the innings last night. Obviously, we're not going to see Jacob Seek or Wade Hartrick because they carried most of that load. But otherwise, I imagine everyone in the bullpen is pretty available.
And those two that you mentioned, Jacob Seek and Wade Hartrick, looked fantastic last night, allowing a combined 2 runs against the Gaithersburg Giants, sending them home earlier than they expected as the first pitch to Zachary Anderson is taken for strike one. So runner on first, nobody out. 1-0 is the score here at Regency Furniture Stadium, and the trademarked Kai Schmelzer back pick is on display once again, but not in time. And a nice breaker from Rodriguez gets Anderson looking. There's that curveball that we've been raving about. That fastball-curveball combo can really be lethal when he's got it going. And he showed it off right there.
Make it 5 strikeouts now for Emilio Rodriguez. I mean, it's really starting to get up there for the LaSalle Explorer. And the guy that struck out 5 a couple days back against the Senators on July the 16th. Racking them up here again in fewer time.
First pitch to Kyle Wynn, who, out of anybody on this team, probably sees the T-Bolts the best as he takes strike one. We're seeing the good version of Emilio today. I know that the scoreboard would not reflect that as the T-Bolts are losing 1-0, but it is still early as that pitch runs inside on Wynn. And he can't really complain with the job that he's done, holding this Senators offense at bay. Pickoff attempt by Rodriguez, no good. And you look at it even more closely, the Senators have won all these one-run ball games. So considering that, as the throw down to second is plenty in time. No slide from Jackson Hayes. As that throw from Kai Schmelzer was right on the money. Huge job done there by Schmelzer to pick up an out. Wiping that runner off the base paths. No problem.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what Jackson Hayes was really thinking there. He has stolen some bags this year, but with a run lead, I don't really know if you can afford to take that risk.
Count goes to 3-1 on Kyle Lynn. But as I was saying, when you go back to those one-run ball games, you analyze every single run that was scored and say, how could you prevent that? Next pitch misses for ball 3. Count will go full. So the fact that Rodriguez is putting up these zeros early can be huge if this one stays in regulation. Next pitch is fouled by Lewin. We'll do the full count pitch again. All the infielders playing pretty far back, especially on the right side. So they're going to have to brace for a pull side hit if Lewin does so. Only Cutney, the shallowest infielder on the dirt. But it doesn't matter. Kyle Lewin takes ball 4.
Just one walk over the first 3 innings for Erod, and then 2 of the last 3 have reached via the free pass. I think that combined with the pitch count starting to get up there, maybe Brock Hunter starts to think about taking that second mound visit.
There's no activity in the bullpen as of right now, but you never know when it could be summoned into action. Swung on and missed by Ethan Adams, the designated hitter today for strike 1. Everyone not named Jacob Seek, Wade Hartrick, and maybe a Calabrese is probably good to go today. Pitch in the dirt, well blocked by Schmelzer for ball 1. I mean, maybe you consider bringing in a Watts again because he had a very short leash. And then E.J. Youngling really didn't throw that many pitches to seal the deal. That is fouled right at the plate. Might be an out. Ethan Adams not sure what's happening, and that is going to be an out. Heads up play by Kai Schmelzer behind the plate, understanding that that ball was technically hit in a foul ground, and now the umpires are going to converse. Scott Middleton having none of the call on the field, and this is the best we can do in the Ripken League when, you know, some coaches want to maybe take a look or review at a play.
You haven't quite gotten instant replay capabilities yet.
No.
Although, that'd be nice. Almost feels like we should at the minor league stadium.
That's right. Maybe they don't do it in Indie Ball. I don't know. But Ripken League is going to have the same standards no matter where they play. Umpires will talk it over. I mean, the ball was tapped right in front of the plate. Schmelzer played it like it was a fair ball, which it very well might have been. It broke the plane of where the batter's box line is located. Now they're calling out Brock Hunter to hear what he has to say about it. Seems like the fielders are starting to trickle back to their spots.
Bit tough to tell from up here. Obviously, it would be a great heads-up play by the young catcher Kai Schmelzer, but it does seem a bit too good to be true almost, that it just kind of was an out on a silver platter. Not saying that's a reason for one direction or the other, but I think Senators' outrage might come to a head here if it does end up sticking with that call. It's probably just one that, you know, in your mind you're replaying, but it gets a little bit more fuzzy the more you think about it. So we'll see what they come away with.
And Brock Hunter, no qualms or queries on his end. He's going to send his guys back out into the field of play. That was, in fact, a foul ball. So you know that Brock Hunter, if there's any controversial call, he is the first man out of the dugout to have a say in what should happen. And he didn't seem to take too much issue with it from my perspective. So we're going to play on here in the bottom of the fourth. Hunter White gets a second life. Next pitch is upstairs for a ball. Only time will tell if we will get instant replay in the Ripken League. But for now, a little bit of an old school style. Next pitch low, ball 3.
I think this is also Brock showing trust in his pitcher. I mean, he could have protested more, like you said, but instead he just sends the boys right back out there, and he trusts Erod to just bear down and get this final out. Just needs one more pitch.
It's a great point. The runner is off, and it's strike 3. So either way, as you were mentioning, Emilio Rodriguez able to get the job done, and he will exit with 4 innings of 1-run balls so far. We'll see if he comes back out for the bottom of the 5th. But before that, the T-Bolts will grab the bats off the back rack once again.
Wild Bill Sports is all about travel baseball and fun. At Wild Bill Sports, travel baseball is the journey players take to develop skills, increase confidence, and grow with integrity, both on and off the field. Wild Bill Sports also promotes community engagement and giving back. Contact Wild Bill Sports at wildbillsports.com. Wild Bill Sports, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring serves up Chop House classics, fresh seafood, Chesapeake Bay oysters, a raw bar, and hyper-seasonal local produce. It has one of the best bars in downtown Silver Spring, serving craft cocktails, beer, and wine. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Top of the 5th here in Waldorf, Maryland, where the Southern Maryland Senators host the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts at Regency Furniture Stadium, home of the Independent League team Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Senators are going to stick with Brody Johnson as they roll into the 5th. I mean, how could you not? He has thrown 4 scoreless so far, showing no signs of slowing down. Team that he's already dominated after punching out 11 across 4+ innings, as we've mentioned in the pregame show. Now Nolan Cutney, veteran, one of the veterans of this squad, will stand in. He's in the 6th hole. He'll be followed up by Connor Fricke and Kai Schmelzer. Very interesting to see Nolan Cutney get some starts at third base. Not a position he is particularly familiar with, but has held it down to the best of his ability while Sam Camacho handles shortstop. First pitch to the retriever upstairs for a ball. Kenny waits on the next pitch. That will be popped up. Lehman giving chase. It'll go just out of play into the seats. Plenty of them here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Not too many fans, all things considered, but the Senators have been granted access to this field for postseason purposes. Top 3 seed in the Ripken League, behind the North's only Crop Dusters and Bethesda Big Train in that order. Swung on and missed by Cutney, strike 2. Cutney's not someone you would expect to start all over the diamond, but he has. Started a bit at third, second, mostly first, and even one in right field against this Southern Maryland team. He'll take a pitch inside, evening things up. So Cutney's going to go back to UMBC with some versatility in his back pocket, and he gets a piece of that one, keeping the count where it is. Right-hander Johnson has had to throw a couple more pitches in this at-bat than he maybe would have liked So he goes with the 2-2 again. Taking outside ball 3. Johnson in the right-hander out of FAU. Someone armed with plenty of pedigree under his belt, competing in the American Conference. Cutney lines it over the head of the shortstop, and he'll pick up a single as a result. Chase Fulford not able to get a glove on it there. Once again, a key leadoff man on for the T-Bolts.
3 straight innings with the leadoff man reaching. Weren't able to score the first 2. And they only got as far as second base. I think maybe if Fricky can somehow advance Cudney to second base here, might want to think about a bunt the further we get in this game, just to get a run in scoring position or maybe even home.
Well, right on cue, Fricky's going to lay one down. It will advance Cutney to second base. Fricky is thrown out. Southern Maryland quickly covers third base in case Cutney was going to give that a look, but either way, 1 out on the board for the Senators.
Well, I mean, the intuition was, I guess, right there, but I thought they might let Fricky swing after he singled in the 3rd inning. That was the only hit up until that single from Cudney that they had gotten off Johnson in. I guess it's not the end of the world. You did end up moving Cudney regardless, but we'll see. With the bottom of the order coming up, we'll see if they can pay off. I know Matthew Kim on deck had a great night last night and could do it again.
First pitch fouled off by Schmelzer for strike 1, but I was going to give you credit. You hit the nail on the head. You were talking about how
I did, yeah.
Fricky could put one down, and he did.
It was beginner's luck.
Well, you're pretty much in the mind of Brock Hunter right now and how he wants to play this game out. Next pitch taken by Schmelzer for a ball. Johnson's going to get a new baseball here, tossing it back to his catcher, Anderson. Cutney still standing on second here in a 1-0 ball game. It has moved very quickly between these two teams. Both Johnson and Rodriguez have looked great so far. Schmelzer waits on the 1-1. Misses ball 2.
That's only 56 pitches for Brody Johnson, and that one was number 56. And that's the exact number he had when he threw on July the 20th, just 4 days back against the T-Bolts, and he struck out 11 over that 4 1/3 innings of work. He's going past it this time.
Another pitch inside, ball 3. Schmelzer showing his maturity in the box. He has really grown a lot over the course of this summer. We always knew the defensive prowess was there. But now the bat's starting to come alive as he's getting more comfortable against higher levels of competition. And just like that, he's going to reach on ball 4. So T-Bolt's got 2 runners on for Kimmy. Matthew Kim standing in now.
First walk of the day issued by Brody Johnson, and he does not walk very many at all. Just 11 all season in 33 1/3 innings coming into this game. That's his first of the day. And probably not where he wanted to issue it after he just got a free out from that bunt. Probably wanted the pitch to contact there. Instead, he's going to bring up Matthew Kim, who is the 9-hitter, but he's been red hot.
Matthew Kim in the 9-hole where he's spent most of his time with the T-Bolts. He'll take ball 1. Not an indictment on Kim's offensive abilities. As a matter of fact, he has been red hot, as you mentioned. And now we're going to get a bit of a mound meeting. Matthew Kim went yard against the Southern Maryland Senators back in the regular season. That was the last game of the regular season for the T-Bolts, which we didn't know until some games got canceled at Player Baseball Stadium. But what a poetic way for Matthew Kim to end his regular season career with the T-Bolts as a player. We'll see if he wants to be a coach in the future after he wraps up college. But Matthew Kim is just so good at turning the lineup over. He understands how to get on base and play the small ball game. So essentially he is an extension of the top of the lineup, and it's a very different look compared to guys like Gabe Pagase and Caleb Sturdivant, who have a lot more juice on the surface than Kim. However, he's he's trying to join those guys in the home run club. Pitch is upstairs, ball 2. Kim has spent 3 years at 3 different colleges, bouncing around some D3s and JUCOs. That will be ball 3. So Johnson is starting to lose the zone a little bit. Not in the most optimal spot, given their runners on first and second. His team is holding on to a 1-run lead. 3-0. Taken strike 1. Jensen needed to land that pitch, and he did. The ever-dangerous Gabe Pagase waiting on deck. 1 pitch away, and now Matthew Kim gets into one. Flat out to left field. Bryce Palm's trying to track it. Kind of turned himself around a little bit, but he does make the catch when it's all said and done, and Nolan Cutney holds his position at second.
Kim was gunning for homer number 2 against the Sens, but just misses by a few feet. It's a tough task to get it over that high wall in left field. And looks like Palms might get turned around for a second, but he was able to recover.
Now Gabe Pagase will stand in, the T-Bolt's offensive all-star. Serving as the leadoff man here in this one. He was not even the starting center fielder on opening day. That was Caleb Sturdivant's job, and once Sturdivant was dealing with that injury throughout the heart of the season, Gabe Pagase takes the first pitch ball. Pagase just wound up taking the job himself, and he never gave it up. One of few go-to guys in this T-Bolts lineup for Brock Hunter. He loves to mix and match, see what he's got, pretty much all season long. Next pitch taken for a strike. Good thing that Johnson got that strike earlier in the at-bat, unlike Matthew Kim. It was kind of an emergency strike. Now Pagase has to lean out of the way, ball 2. This is one of the better scoring opportunities the T-Bolts have had against Johnson in this game. So it'd be great for them to capitalize. Gabe Pagase, one of the best at doing so. Just run creation and production overall. That'll be popped foul. Gabe currently at D3 Lynchburg in Virginia, but with the way the portal works nowadays, he could be well on his way up the collegiate ranks when it's all said and done. And this summer is going to look great on his resume as a baseball player. Just what he's been able to do overall on a day-to-day basis. That is swung on and missed. A huge strikeout for Johnson as he gets through 5 scoreless. A postseason performance from the Senators' right-hander. They'll grab the bats back in the bottom of the 5th. We're more than halfway home here in Waldorf, Maryland at Regency Furniture Stadium.
Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, number 115 in Silver Spring is your premier in-home pet care service. From dog walks, cat care, overnight stays, pet sitting, and medication administration, Fetch Pet Care provides services tailored to meet your pet's individual needs. Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, number 115 in Silver Spring. A proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The Tacoma Torch, founded in 2019, brings laughter and a sense of fun to residents in Tacoma Park and the DMV. The Tacoma Torch features satirical articles about the region that those with a sense of humor can appreciate. Send a headline or idea their way to tacomatorch@gmail.com and watch what they do with it. The Tacoma Torch is on the web at tacomatorch.com. Tacoma Torch, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Well, the T-Bolts are going to trust Emilio Rodriguez to keep the production going here in the bottom of the 5th. I completely understand with the way he's rolling, and like I said, this is one of his good days. So you might as well squeeze every ounce you can out of a performance like this for Rodriguez. He's ready to go here in the bottom of the fifth, as 8-9-1 is coming up in the Senators' order. Getting that started is Bryce Palms. Palms, the Youngstown State Penguin, here with the Southern Maryland Senators, coming back close enough to home where he's originally from. Of course, went to DeMatha Catholic High School. I'll mention that every time. And we'll take a first pitch strike. Palms is originally here with fellow DeMatha graduate Bud Coombs, but Bud is no longer with the Senators. As Palms hit that one on the screws out to center field, but Gabe Pagase able to grab the low liner. Next man up, Jack Ewart. Rodriguez still looking sharp in this game. And no sense of urgency in the T-Bolts bullpen as of right now. First pitch in the dirt, ball one. Ewart, the 9-hitting center fielder here today, serving as the lineup turnstile man. Gabe Pagase didn't quite see it. Tried to put his glove up shading the sun, but Jack Ewart able to deposit it between the Bermuda Triangle that formed in a very shallow left center field.
This Senators lineup is interesting because their 7 and 8 hitters, Ethan Adams and Bryce Palms, don't have a ton of experience with the bat this year. Both have been primarily pitchers for head coach Sean Middleton, but Jack Ewart in the 9-hole is anything but. He's a quality hitter, has played in 33 games, and he's been really good for the Senators this year. He's a guy that you want to turn things over.
First pitch to Chase Fulford is taken for ball one, and the single of Nolan Cutney go over his head. Next pitch lands for a strike from Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a native of Baltimore, Maryland. And that is hit past the glove of Nolan Cutney. Skips off what looks like the heel of it. And the runners will go station to station here in the bottom of the fifth for the Senators, and they have only one out.
Things get a little bit hairy now for the T-Bolts and Rodriguez on the hill. That was pitch number 76 for the LaSalle Explorer. Maybe a change is coming soon here in this fifth inning. Senators already with the lead.
Well, the number 2 hitter, James Lehman, getting the start at first base today. Former Wofford Terrier in the Southern Conference, but graduated, and now he's going to continue his grad studies at Xavier. He knew he missed that one. Sam Camacho tracking it down from shortstop. No problem bringing it in for out number 2. Now Cole Rame, who is hitting third in the lineup for the Southern Maryland Senators, the Richmond Spider. Rame takes a first pitch strike after he's only 0 for 2 today. But been kept pretty busy up the middle at second. Now looking to make that impact with the bat. That next pitch, he had to drop the barrel down. Curveball was a little bit outside. Rodriguez checks the runner at second. Next pitch is another one inside, ball 2. Now the infield's going to call a meeting. Looked like it was initiated by Matthew Kim at second. And everyone followed suit. Kim would know this team better than anyone as a 3-year member of the T-Bolts, so seeing that leadership skills on display is excellent from the man at second. Rain waits on the 2-1. The breaker lands for strike 2. Runners on first and second. 2-2 count, 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Rodriguez arguably looking better than Jacob Seek right now. And it's huge that the T-Bolts have had these arms step up in the absence of Christian Dre. He misses with another breaker, ball 3.
Can't afford for Rame to reach here. Load the bases for Jackson Hayes, who has the most RBI in the team with 26. Got to put something competitive.
The full count pitch is on its way. It'll be fouled, and we'll do it again. These situations may not matter as much in the regular season, but in the postseason, it gets even more intensified, and Rame will find grass. It falls, and Trent Lopez guns it in, going for the runner at third. He is safe. Pegues gave it all he had on the dive, and he missed it. Fell right in front of him. Trent Lopez was there as his backup. A heads-up throw in, but the Senators strike once again. Now 2-0 in favor of Southern Maryland.
I would say 1 through 5 or 6 in this lineup is one of the best cores in the league. There's really not a part of it that is that weak. I think we saw a Gaithersburg team last night that has had a lot of offensive success. I'd put them up there as well. And then I would put Bethesda and Olney. But I think it's pretty clear that the Senators are one of the best offensive teams in the league, which makes it even more impressive what Erod's doing.
First pitch is swung on and missed by Jackson Hayes, who is the cleanup man for good reason. You mentioned that leads this team in RBIs. And where else would you put him in the lineup? The 0-1 hits him. So the bases will be loaded for the Southern Maryland Senators. This is the true test for Emilio Rodriguez. And what does he really have in this game? Turns things over to the right-handed hitting catcher, Zach Anderson.
Anderson did homer the last time these teams played 4 days ago.
First pitch, misses ball 1. You can't afford to let anything slip in this spot, because even a walk would drive in a run. So Erod's got his work cut out for him, walking the tightrope. That is fouled away, strike 1. Next pitch on his way is popped up foul. So you've got Chase Fulford at third, Cole Rame at second, and Jackson Hayes now at third. Rodriguez is up in the count 1-2. Would love to keep the score right where it is against the Southern Maryland Senators. And that bat might have broken on a trickler foul. It did. The piece of lumber split just enough to where it is broken. Kind of got jammed on that pitch. So Anderson, with a new stick in his hands, will still have this count at 1-2. And that is blocked by Schmelzer. He makes a little slide. He is safe at home plate. Chase Fulford scores, but they get Cole Rame. The Richmond Spider caught in the web there. Another run does score. However, the Senators extend their lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Thunderbolts defense showing some cracks in the armor, but not enough to where it is a huge problem as we go to the top of the sixth.
Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring is the best chicken in the world because it uses peri peri sauce. From chicken on the bone to wraps and sandwiches, along with salads and veggie options, Nando's is your choice for great food. Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring develops pharmaceuticals and technologies that help patients in need of organ transplantation. United Therapeutics is guided by the principles of always striving to do the right thing and relentlessly pushing to always do better. As a result, the company was included among America's best companies by Forbes magazine. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Well, this is Brody Juntinen's game. He is out there for the top of the sixth. And quick shout out to Mark Wellborn. Been watching the T-Bolts the whole season. We appreciate that support. We are hoping for a win just as much as the next guy. But Brody Juntinen has really left his mark on this ball game. We love all the activity in the chat. Love that people are tuning in for a winner-go-home game. Now it is Caleb Sturden to lead things off in the T-Bolts order 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be followed by Trent Lopez and Sam Camacho, all of whom have a home run on the season. Both Sturden and Lopez, though, have multiple. First pitch to Caleb is a check swing appealed down to first, but he did not go around ball one.
Uncharted waters here for Brody Johnson, and he has never pitched into the sixth, but he's gone through five total times on the season. He's been a guy that can give the Senators some length, and in their biggest game of the year, he's going to be trusted here in the sixth.
Of course, it's Brunton's outing, Johnson, and this is his outing right now, but there is some activity in the bullpen on the Senators' side, so they're going to have backup if Johnson gets into some trouble, as Caleb Sturdivant swings and misses. Strike two. Sturdivant's really done a 180 from what he was last season with the T-Bolts as a returning member. Got off to a slow offensive start and then really picked things up in the second half. And he always played a Gold Glove caliber center field by Ripken League standards. And the check swing, he did go around. So that's out number one for the T-Bolts here in the top of the sixth. This game moving very quickly, and now Brody Johnson now has his longest outing of the season. He has been built up to do this. We've seen him go 5 innings in multiple starts. But now he has got the confidence from Scott Middleton to pitch into the sixth. Trent Lopez takes strike one there. Trent has recorded 2 homers against Southern Maryland in his time playing them, as he swings and misses at strike 2. Johnson and stuff is just overpowering right now with the way it's working. T-Bolt's lineup eating at the palm of his hand. Next one misses, ball 1. Trent, in a limited sample, has shown great things, which is very interesting that he hasn't gotten more playing time. That pitch is fouled off, keeping the count at 1-2. Really just a testament to this outfield group and how talented it really is. I mean, Griffin Pouvel, Caleb Sturdivant, Gabe Pagase are kind of the big boppers. But then you have a Joey King who can plug and play, a Cam Baker who can plug and play. Trent Lopez trying to force his way into the mix. Marco Polizzi was a great addition midseason. Trent Lopez now hits one up the middle and it hits the second base bag. Chase Fulford played the hop well, but no time to make a throw on a first base. And Trent Lopez will reach with 1 out.
Almost a huge break for the Senators that Fulford was able to get a chance at that one, but instead Lopez is rewarded for putting one in the right spot. He's able to reach here. Does come with 1 away. But Camacho, who moved up 1 spot in the order after last night, has a chance to prove why he's the cleanup man.
We know he has the power. He hit the home run and only against the Crop Dusters. He takes ball 1 on the first pitch he sees. Of course, the Crop Dusters are regular season champions in the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate Baseball League. And the winner of this game will go play them in a best of 3. That is hit into a Bermuda triangle. Trent Lopez a little bit too far off first base. He will be doubled up. A huge double play turned by the Southern Maryland Senators. And Brody Johnson, folks, has gone 6 scoreless in this ball game. What a job done by the FAU Owl. Just as a rising sophomore has dominated a really strong T-Bolts lineup. And they'll go to the bottom of the 6th, looking to hold the Senators to their 3-0 lead.
The Parkway Deli on A317 Grub Road in Silver Spring has been dishing up deli classics since 1963. The Parkway Deli is a family business, and their family loves to bring great food and service to yours. The Parkway Deli is open 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. The Parkway Deli on A317 Grub Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store, with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Tacoma Park, White Oak, and Silver Spring. Family owned and operated since 1971, specializing in diamonds, custom engagement rings, repairs, engraving, and cash for gold. Go to silverspringjewelers.com for more information. Silver Spring Jewelry, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Emilio Rodriguez is done after 5. Finishes with 2 runs allowed. And I know that it kind of goes undermined compared to what Brody Johnson did here today. But Emilio, still a great day. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. They got the Emilio Rodriguez they needed. Kept them in the ball game against a really solid Southern Maryland Senators team. And now it'll be turned over to the right-hander Mike Presky.
Yeah, in a win-or-go-home game, why would you not turn to a guy that you've seen the most out of? On the biggest sample size for the T-Bolts pitching staff, Presky makes his 13th appearance. He has 28 innings under his belt, an ERA a shade over 6. And a guy that has bounced around but has kept that same passion regardless of his college ball or if he's here with the Thunderbolts. And here this season, he's kind of hit a new gear, which has been really fun to see. even got a start a couple days ago against the Crop Dusters. That went pretty well against the best team in the league. Presky has a tough act to follow with Rodriguez doing as well as he did, but just got to keep things competitive, and that's pretty much what you get out of him. He's very, very consistent. He doesn't give up too much. He spreads it out over the outings.
He actually made a 5-inning start his last time out on July 15th against the only Crop Dusters. First pitch he throws is hit foul by Zach Anderson. So Presky's pretty much all reliable for Brock Hunter out of the bullpen. His workload has been substantial here this summer for the Cecil Community College Seahawk. As Anderson swings and misses at strike 2. Presky also a returning member to the T-Bolts. Guy just loves life. He's always got a smile on his face, which is a great mindset to have. Throws his first ball of the day there. The fact that he can go multiple innings in multiple capacities is so valuable. As Anderson hits that out to shortstop, Camacho fields it cleanly and fires onto Connor Fricky for out number 1. Now it'll be Kyle Wynn, the Senators' right fielder, to face Presky. Here in this stretch of the Senators' lineup, they've kind of staggered the right-left matchups. In the back half of the order, Kyle Wynn swings over a nice off-speed pitch from Presky, strike 1. Presky going back to his traditional relief role today, as the next pitch misses a ball in the dirt. Presky fires in strike 2. Nice pitch there from the right-hander. And even though Presky's final lines don't look pretty, the fact that he can eat up some innings and be trusted to do so, just cover a patch of the ball game for the T-Bolt staff. That's hit out into a Bermuda triangle. Sam Camacho calls off Trent Lopez for out number 2. Nice communication there from the captain of the infield. Now it's the designated hitter, Ethan Adams, who, as you mentioned, him and Bryce Palms, mainly pitchers, but getting the start offensively today. Adams even made 3 starts as he takes ball 1. And he doesn't have to take the field, similar to what Bryce Palms is doing today. Adams now jumps ahead in the count 2-0. Adams 6'3", 223 out of Georgia State University. Georgia boy, tried and true, will take a strike there. Nobody on, 2 outs. 3-0 Senators in the bottom of the 6th. Presky fires in another strike. Now just 1 pitch away from tossing a scoreless frame. T-Bolts are pretty much giving up all the runs they can, considering how Juntinen's throwing the ball today. Presky now in a bit of a jam, full count.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can't afford to make this lead expand any further. Will Petty's roaming in the bullpen, another great starting pitcher. Got to keep this lead where it is.
The full count. Grounded out to Camacho. He makes the play in the hole and fires on a first for out number 3. Michael Presky, a scoreless inning in the postseason. T-Bolts are loving it, but they got to get some runs on the board to love this game even more. They are still down 3-0, and just like that, Junton's unbelievable start is over. We'll see a new arm on the mound for the Southern Maryland Senators. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. SkyPoint believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether opening your first account or planning for the future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring or at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. You're wearing the top of the 7th inning between the Thunderbolts and the Southern Maryland Senators. And right now it's all Senators. 3-0 ball game. But Brody Juntonen is no longer on the hill for the team in black and white, which is a lot of good news for the Thunderbolts fans watching at home. Instead, it's going to be Will Petty's taking over. Out of Roswell, Georgia, and Georgia State University just announced a transfer commitment to Southern Illinois. Left-hander in for Juntonen, who works 6 scoreless innings. One of his best outings of the season, his longest one to date. Griffin Puval, the hitter, takes a strike there. Count 2 balls and 1 strikes. Lefty and righty. Puval swings, chops it left side. That's the third baseman up with it across the diamond. And in time, Jackson Hayes to James Lehman. And there's one away here in the 7th. If you're just joining us, I'm Peter Kelly, joined again by Brian Alves. Brian, this was the 2 on the call for the last 3 innings of last night's game in Gaithersburg. And it saw the T-Bolts just kind of clinging on to their lead. They had led the entire way. But then in the 9th, it was the home team, the Giants, that were able to claw back and almost take a lead before the T-Bolts were able to escape. Seemingly going to need an effort like that out of Silver Spring. Ideally, they don't just try to come back. They actually do surmount the 3 runs on the board. It's not an impossible deficit. And in this series in particular between these teams, it's been one that's been contested and a lot of leads that have been flip-flopped and shared between these teams. So I think it could be a good finish, especially with Juntonen out of the game. He was being too dominant. It was getting too boring almost.
No, absolutely. He's had their number outside of that 3-run home run.
Swinging a foul tip from Nolan Kudney. Count 0-2 on the third baseman. Kudney base knock his last trip to the plate. One of 3 hits off of Brody Juntonen by the T-Bolts. Chops this one to short. Chase Fulford bobbles it, throws it on the run, but he gets Kudney by a half step. Fulford had 2 chances at it, and he is able to come up with it on the second. making a really nice defensive play to retire the second out of the inning. Company beat out an infield single to the shortstop last night, but no dice tonight on the much more manicured field here at Regency Furniture Stadium. First pitch to Connor Fricke's a ball low and away. It was 5, 6, and 7 up, but 5 and 6 went down about as quickly as we were ready to go, and now it's number 7, Connor Fricke, first baseman at the plate. 1 for 2 today, had a sacrifice bunt back in the 5th inning to advance Kutney after a single, but that was as far as Kutney got. That was as far as any runner got. No T-Bolt has made it past second base here today. 2-0. Ground ball left side on a backhand. Fulford can't come up with it, and Fricke's going to reach on his second base knock of the day.
That's unfortunate. Obviously fortunate that happened there, but unfortunate for Nolan Kutney, who was so close to reaching first. He might have potentially been gunned out at second anyway, but the Thunderbolts so close to first and second once again. And that was just too tough of a play for Chase Fulford to make.
Schmelzer at the plate, 8-hole hitter, is the catcher today. Youngest player on the team, batting in one of the biggest situations of the year. Top of the 7th, runner on base. He laces one in the left center gap. Fricke off on the pitch is going to go first to third. Palms picks it up, fires it, and the cutoff man is Chase Fulford. How about Kai Schmelzer? Backup catcher behind Mason Kelleher. Hasn't had it with the bat like Mason has, but gets the start in a winner-go-home matchup. And he gets that big single, puts runners on the corners with 2 outs, and Matty K up to the plate.
And Kai Schmelzer, he's picked up the bat this July really well. It's good to see it finally come through in a big spot. He had a couple really nice doubles this July that scored RBIs, and you need it right there. You just got to get one across to see one go through.
Schmelzer now on a 5-game hit streak. Make it 6 for his last 11. He's only struck out twice over his last 10 games. If that bat progresses, watch out, Gulf Coast State. He's going to take the JUCO world by storm. First pitch to Matthew Kim's a called strike. Second baseman 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Biggest situation of the year for Silver Spring Tacoma, trailing the Southern Maryland Senators by 3 runs. Just 4 days ago against this same team, Kim had a 3-run homer. His first and only as a Thunderbolt, swings and misses, and it's an 0-2 count. That homer by Matthew Kim is first in his 3 years with the team in his 75th game with the Thunderbolts. Add that to his 48 games of college ball over those 3 seasons. That's 123 games before Kim got his first home run in the collegiate ranks. Such a great story, and what a time for it to happen. He goes down on strikes here. 3 pitches, Pennies dispatches Kim. And the T-Bolts get runners to third for the first time today, but they once again cannot break the shutout. Heading to the bottom of the 7th after the stretch, it's 3-0 Senators.
Ben Norkin Architecture. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, helps people turn their dreams into their new forever home. Whether it's a renovation, addition, or a new home, Ben will assist you in picking colors and finishes. He'll explain building codes, zoning requirements, and materials that stress energy efficiency. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Ave in Tacoma Park, Maryland, is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. AFI Silver Theater. The AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center in downtown Silver Spring presents the best in American and world cinema. They show classic American mysteries from the black and white era, as well as the most modern digital content from around the world. The AFI Silver Theater also features filmmaker interviews, panel discussions, and musical performances and more. The AFI Silver Theater at 8633 Colesville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Bottom of the 7th, Mike Presky back to the hill. Top of the 7th felt a little bit different with Brody Johnson and no longer on the mound for the Senators. It was Will Petty's in, and already you see the change paying off for Silver Spring. They had 2 hits in an inning for the first time in this game. Only had 3 in 6 frames against Juntanen. They collect 2 off of Petty's, but neither Connor Fricke or Schmelzer can score. And it really happens because there were 2 outs on the board already when those 2 hits were able to occur. Bottom of the 7th, Presky did pretty well for himself in the 6th, and now sends 8-9-1 out to the plate. Bryce Palms, Jack Ewert, and Chase Fulford, the 3 due up to face Mike Presky after he went 1-2-3 in the 6th.
Bresky's been used so much. I thought he was going to get the nod yesterday, but good to have him in the game today, second round playoffs.
First pitch caught on and missed by Bryce Palms. Southern Maryland 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and the Thunderbolts no runs on 5 hits and also no errors. But a clean game on the defensive side. A 1 pitch. Palms takes a fastball outside, and it's 1-1 in this righty-lefty matchup. Bryce Palms has made 6 starts this year, but not as a left fielder where he is today. Those came as a pitcher. He's a left-handed arm that pitched to a 9.5 ERA over 22 2/3 innings of work. He's making just his 3rd time at the plate this season. Had 5 at-bats coming into today. He was 1 for 5. He went 0 for 3 in the very first game of the Senators season, and he went 1 for 2 in their second to last game of the season. And now in their biggest game of the year, he gets the call. He's been decent in left field today defensively. 1-2 fastballs outside from Presky. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the 8-hitter. Palms had the first hit for Senator batters today, a double down the left field line. Didn't get all of it, just dunked it where there was plenty of grass here at Regency Furniture. 2-2 pitch. Palms scoots out of the way of the fastball, and it's 3-2. Sun starting to set. Past 6 p.m., approaching 6:30. Pitcher's mound in full sun, and the batter's box is in shade. Could be difficult for Palms here to make it out. Payoff pitch has just got a piece. 7th pitch upcoming to the first batter of the 7th inning. Mike Presky sent the Senators down in order in the 6th. All 3 outs went to Sam Camacho at shortstop. Couple of ground outs and a pop-up. Here's another full count pitch. Got him a swinging. First K of the day for Mike Presky. Sits down the first out here in the 7th.
Big time first out again. You can't gain any runs back defensively, but you can't give up any more. And if you're the Thunderbolts, the way to come back is the way that the Senators did it against them. You play shutdown baseball defensively like they did, and you eventually get guys on base and see if you can hit a home run. Every time these two teams have played, the Thunderbolts have led by 3 or more and have ended up losing every single game.
9-hitter Jack Ewert to the plate. First pitch swinging out towards right field. Griffin Puval loses the cap, but he's got the baseball, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. So Ewert swings at the first pitch after that 7-pitch battle from Bryce Palms. Helps out Mike Presky, certainly. Maybe he can even get into the 8th. His last time out was his first start of the year. Went 4 innings against the only crop dusters in a game that the T-Bolts eventually dropped 8-2. He's got 1 out again here in the 7th inning. Top of the Senators' order back up. Chase Fulford, the shortstop at the plate, has been tested plenty of times tonight at the field and takes the ball outside on a breaker. Fulford 1 for 2 with a walk tonight. Went 2 for 5 when these teams faced off back on July 20th. Fastball just misses off the inner third. 2 balls and no strikes on Fulford. Out of Binghamton, a very big feeder for this Senators squad. 2-0. Changeup is in the dirt. And it's 3 balls, 0 strikes against Chase Fulford. Don't want to get him on the bases. He leads the league in stolen bags. Swiped 27 in 30 tries. With 2 outs, here's the 3-0 pitch, and Fulford taking all the way. Watches a strike go right by. Three-one count. Pitch from Presky. Wave and a miss. And the count goes full.
Great 2 bounce-back pitches from Presky. The third one here, and the momentum might be starting to shift a little bit if you can go 1, 2, 3.
Mike Preskey has retired the first 5 Senators he's faced. Here's a payoff pitch. Goes backside, right fielder Puval taking a jog towards the line. He's got it with some room. And Michael Preskey goes 2 perfect innings out of the bullpen, taking us to the 8th. 3-0 Senators lead. T-Bolts have just 6 outs remaining before their season is over. We'll see if they can get some runs back when we come back.
Koa. Koa Sports in Gaithersburg, Maryland is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. Koa Sports aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and as a person. They also help your student-athlete in the classroom, on the playing field, and anywhere in between. Learn more about Koa Sports at koasports.org. KOA Sports is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Parkview Capital. Parkview Capital believes your financial strategy should reflect more than numbers. It should reflect you. As a trusted investment advisory firm, Parkview Capital partners with individuals and families to build and protect wealth. Parkview Capital personalizes strategies rooted in your values and long-term goals. Whether you're growing your portfolio or preserving a legacy, Parkview Capital crafts a clear, customized path to your financial future, one that will evolve with you. Parkview Capital is a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Top of the 8th inning. Here at Regency Furniture Stadium, the home team, the Senators, with a 3-0 advantage. The 3 seed in business against the 8, the Thunderbolts, who won last night in a playing game against the Gaithersburg Giants, 6-5 the final. T-Bolts led it the whole way, up 6-2 heading to the bottom of the 9th, almost gave it up. But E.J. Youngling came in, got a much-needed save, and sent the Gaithersburg Giants packing. That's the format in the Ripken League. The game last night and the game tonight, both win or go home. Winner of this one advances to the semifinals, where they'll play a best-of-3 series against either the Only Crop Dusters or the Bethesda Big Train, the 1 and 2 seed respectively. Will Petty's back to the hill, and simply put, this is it for Silver Spring Tacoma. 2 innings for the rest of their lives, or the rest of their lives in this summer, I should say. Gabe Pagase, Caleb Sturdivant, Trent Lopez, the 3 due up, the very top of the T-Bolts order for what could possibly be the final time this year. Thunderbolts facing a 3-0 deficit for the Senators, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Silver Spring Tacoma, no runs on 5 hits, also with no errors. Gabe Pagase is 0 for 3 with a strikeout his last trip up. Takes a first pitch fastball at the top of the zone for strike number 1. Pagase has been the man and then some this season for his head coach Brock Hunter and the rest of this team. Such a leader despite his relative young age, only a rising sophomore. The only All-Star still with the team. 0-1 breaker is low, and it's a ball and a strike on Gabe Pagase. Uncharacteristic start to his night. Hitless in his 3 attempts, couple of groundouts, and a strikeout in the 5th off of Brody Johnson, and who seemed like he was striking everyone out. Fastball catches the outer half, and it's 1-2. Will Petty's the first man out of this bullpen. Sophomore out of Georgia State, transferring to Southern Illinois. He's second in the league in innings pitched. He's been mostly a starter for Sean Middleton and the Senators staff. Came in with 34 innings under his belt, and after the 7th, you can make it an even 35 to take the league lead from Charlie Hoagland of the Big Train. 2-2 pitch. Pagase takes ball 3. Shin height dug out by Zach Anderson. Counts for the first batter of the 8th. Every pitch has so much riding on it. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball left side. It's going to sneak through. First hit tonight for Gabe. Thought about heading to second, and it slowed down to the grass out and left, but Pagase will retreat to first base. 6th hit for the T-Bolts. Still nothing to show for it, but found fully in the top of the order. Maybe Sturdivant can be the one to bring the T-Bolts a little bit closer.
Well, you need a base runner to start a rally. Gabe Pagase, probably the best base runner in the Cal Ripken League in terms of runs scored. So, just one at a time, one at-bat at a time, you got to get back into this game.
Pagase responsible for 3 of the T-Bolts' 6 runs last night. On the season, he's responsible for a quarter. Ground ball left side, picked up by Fulford. No play at second, so he goes to first and gets Sturdivant by about a step. Another nice play by Chase Fulford, the Senators shortstop. Does advance the runner. T-Bolt's got a run to the third base for the first time in this game back in the 7th inning. Connor Fricke, advanced on a Schmelzer single. Trent Lopez up. With Pegues on second, he came up in this exact scenario last night. It was the top of the 9th in that game. It's the 8th in this one. But Lopez was able to come through, drive in Gabe Pegues for what was a big insurance run. Made it 6-2. And every run ended up proving critical on a game that the T-Bolts snuck out a win by just 1 run. 1 ball, no strikes on the right-hander. Petties gives a couple looks, deals. Lopez takes a strike, low and inside. 1-1 for the left fielder out of Cornell. Legged out an infield hit his last trip up. Was then doubled up on a fly ball out towards right field off the bat of Camacho, who stands on deck. Pitch home. Lopez swings, drives it out towards left center. It's going to fall in green grass. Pegues getting the wave around by Skip Eckert. Here's the throw home from Jack Ewart. It bounces in slowly, and the T-Bolts on the board thanks to a Trent Lopez RBI knock. It's 3-1.
Well, there's the first run. It took you to the top of the 8th, but it's never too late when you're only down 3 runs. Just 2 more to go, and the Thunderbolts can tie it up. Huge momentum swing by Trent Lopez.
It had to happen soon, and the Thunderbolts finally get offensively on the board. Camacho now up, still just 1 away. Lopez on first with good speed. First pitch to the shortstop is taken for a strike. Last night, Camacho 0 for 4, struck out twice, did walk 1 time, but not his best day offensively. But Brock Hunter doesn't move him down. Instead, he moves him 1 spot up in the lineup to clean things up. Can he make his manager proud? Swings, 1 hop to third, could be 2. Play at second for 1, and then back to first. And that is an inning-ending double play. T-Bolts finally had something brewing, and then 1 swing later, Senators are out of the inning, still maintaining a 2-run lead. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, Mike Presky goes back to the hill when we come back.
Finn Family Group. Dan Metcalf has long been a supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts, and now he's at a new location. The Finn Family Group of Perennial Real Estate. If you want to find that perfect home in the perfect community, the Finn Family Group is for you. The Finn Family Group believes in community, and they bring that sense of community when working with clients to find homes in the Silver Spring, Tacoma Park area. Call them today at 301-450-6999. The Finn Family Group, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Athletic House. Athletic House on 18952 Bonanza Way in Gaithersburg is a promotional product distributor making mugs, pens, and t-shirts for advertisers. The Athletic House can supply your company with every possible promotional product from 3,000 suppliers. With so many ad specialties available, Athletic House can help leave a lasting impression with your customers, and they will create long-lasting relationships with your clients. Athletic House, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Bottom of the 8th, you're at Regency Furniture, home of the Independent League Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Alongside Brian Alves, I'm Peter Kelly. Michael Presky goes back to the hill here in this 8th inning. He just worked through 2 perfect innings as the only reliever that Silver Spring has used tonight. Last night they needed 4 relievers, 5 pitchers total. Jacob Seek went the first 4 1/3, gave up 2 runs, and then it was Wade Hartrick, Matthew Calabrese, Aiden Watts, and then E.J. Youngling to save things in the 9th. T-Bolts felt like they used all their energy last night to just make it into this game, and now here in early start time, they still haven't found their footing offensively, but the pitching has kept them in this ballgame.
Yeah, you knew defense was going to have to be the way that they stayed in it. But, of course, you also knew that the Senators were going to give their best pitchers to the Thunderbolts, and both teams have delivered. The Senators have just delivered a little bit stronger, and because they had that extra day of rest, they've been able to get on top 3-1 so far. But getting 1 back is better than going into the top of the 9th, down 3 runs.
2, 3, and 4 due up against the right-hander Presky. First pitch to James Lehman is popped up, gets foul on the left field side. 0-1 on the first baseman. just graduated from Wofford out in South Carolina and will transfer to Xavier to finish up his collegiate career. An arm warming in Southern Maryland's bullpen. Will Petty's has thrown 2 innings in relief, given up 1 run. Pop up again, this one on the infield. Camacho is under it. The shortstop waves his arms in a circle and gloves out number 1. Sammy's been active at shortstop all day today. Had the game-ending double play last night. It was bases loaded with 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Tying run 90 feet out for Gaithersburg. And then Youngling gets Eli Livingston to ground into a 6-4-3 double play. Started by Sam Camacho, playing in just his 4th game at shortstop in the season. With 1 out, a strike lands in to Cole Rehm. The second baseman out of Richmond is down 0-1. 1 for 3 day for Rehm. That's with the bases empty here in the 8th. Big swing and a miss there. And it's 0-2.
And Preske's really done his job since coming in. If it weren't for him, the Thunderbolts might not have even had the chance to come back in the top of the 9th. He's only just 2 more outs down, and maybe the Thunderbolts can be only down 2.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Pitch home for Preske. Popped up and gets out of play on the first base side.
I said it earlier, but I'm just shocked that Preske didn't pitch yesterday. I thought he was going to be the first name out of the bullpen, but Wade Hartrick was that guy yesterday. He's been that guy today.
I agree. I think Brock Hunter made the right decision going with Hartrick last night, but it was a bit surprised to see Preske not show up. Ground ball left side. It's to Camacho again. Got plenty of time, and he gets Cole Rehm for the second out.
Well, the black hole on the left side of the infield does it again. Whether he's at third, whether he's at short, it's so hard to hit it past this guy.
Michael Preske has now retired all 8 men that he's faced in long relief work. 5 of those outs have been to the shortstop, Sam Camacho. 3 ground outs and a pair of pop flies. Now with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, Jackson Hayes, the cleanup man, up to the plate. Third baseman has been aboard twice, a walk and a hit by pitch. Hasn't hit since the 5th. He's the lone hitter to not yet face Mike Preske. Swings at the first pitch and hits it into the backstop netting. No balls and 1 strike for Michael Preske. Just 33 pitches through 2 2/3. Living in the zone, too, has thrown just 10 balls. 0-1. Wave and a miss. He's looking lost on a slider outside. And Preske now a strike away from 3 perfect. If the game eventually ends in a loss and the season ends, I think this performance might be overshadowed. But Preske, a big bright spot here today. 0-2, slider outside.
We've seen really just the absolute best from all the pitchers that have pitched in these 2 playoff games. They've done everything they can to keep these Thunderbolts in these games. They've just been facing some tough pitching.
1-2 pitch. Pop fly right field. Pouvel started back, comes in, goes to the line, and makes the grab. How about 3 perfect innings for Michael Preske? 9 Senators up, 9 Senators down. Thunderbolts have 3 outs left in their season. Top of the 9th upcoming. They need 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. It's improbable, but it is not out of the question, especially with this team. Can the 8th seed do it with their backs against the wall? We'll find out after these words from our sponsors.
Radial Tire Company. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service, advanced equipment for balancing and installation, and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Chuck Levin's Music. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Beers Mill Road in Wheaton has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levins is family run and is famous for instrument sales and its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Chuck Levins Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Well, here we go. Top of the 9th inning, 3-1 ball game. The Senators, the 3 seed, leading the T-Bolts, the 8, by 2 runs in what has been a closely contested pitcher's duel. Both starters getting deep into the game. Rodriguez going 5 innings for the T-Bolts. Juntanen going 6 for the Senators. And now the bullpen for both teams has been as advertised. When these teams play, they bring the fireworks. 4 one-run ball games, but all 4 in the regular season went in favor of Southern Maryland. And now they're trying to go perfect 5 for 5. They need just 3 outs to do it. And Coach Sean Middleton turns to Ryan Conrad with a 4 ERA, making his 8th appearance of the year. 2 of those were starts, but has come out of the bullpen to a pitch to a record of 2-0, striking out 16 over 15 2/3 innings of work. Conrad takes over for Petties, who had 2 one-run innings in relief. 5, 6, and 7. The last hope for the T-Bolts to keep their season alive. Griffin Puval, Nolan Kutney, and Connor Fricke. If there was any moment to put all your cards on the table, maybe start pinch hitting, pushing some buttons, it would be right now. There's no tomorrow if this 9th inning doesn't produce 2 runs. First pitch from Conrad misses inside on Puval. So it is a right-hander after Will Petties came into the game, the left-handed arm out of the bullpen. Conrad now flips the switch, and he'll face off against a bunch of righties in this inning. First 3 due up, all bad from the right side. Called strike on Griffin Puval, and it's 1-1.
A bit of a surprising move, bringing in a new pitcher. They could have honestly just stuck with 2 to finish the game, but I think really wanted that righty-righty matchup.
1-1 pitch. Curveball is high for ball 2. Southern Maryland probably looking ahead, too. If they win this game, they'll move on to a semifinal with either the Big Train or the Crop Dusters. That's the best 2 out of 3, so they'll need a lot more pitching for a series that will start tomorrow night. Puval swings, chops it foul, and the count evens up at 2-2.
And you know, that type of thinking can sometimes be dangerous. See if the Thunderbolts can make them pay. Everything you got here in this 9th inning.
Griffin Puval, one of 4 hitters on this team that was here for the wild card elimination last year to the Crop Dusters. Same thing happened last year. The T-Bolts won their first game at Gaithersburg, then lost the next night in a close game. That's called strike 3 on Griffin Puval, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Puval's agitated. He knew he should have swung the bat. Ends a tough day for Griffin, 0 for 4, with 3 strikeouts. With 1 out, Nolan Kutney comes to the plate. Third baseman is 1 for 3, struck out back in the 2nd inning, had a single in the 5th.
Well, with that, I don't think we'll see any pinch hitters. Connor Fricke, who's up next, is 2 for 2 so far. So,
first pitch to Kutney is a fastball high. T-Bolts 1 run, 7 hits, no errors. Southern Maryland 3 runs on 5 hits, also no errors. Ground ball foul, and it's 1-1. Senators got 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and that's pretty much all they've needed. For Silver Spring Tacoma, just 1 run came in the top of the 8th inning. 2 hits in each of the last 2 innings, though, for the Thunderbolts after Juntanen came out. Kutney swings, sends it in the air out towards right field. Plenty of room for Kai Lewin. He's got it, and there's 2 gone. Connor Fricke represents the last hope for Silver Spring's season.
and you're really feeling it now. Everything's starting to soak in. Is this the last batter for the Thunderbolts? They had a great win over the Giants, 6-5. But it's going to take a lot here to get 2 runs. Connor Fricke, the lifeline, hasn't gotten out just yet today.
First pitch to the right-handed hitting first baseman is an off-speed that misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes on Connor Fricke. 2-hit day for the Babson Beaver. Also had a sacrifice bunt in the 5th to push over Kutney. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a ball outside. and it's 2-0. On deck, Kai Schmelzer, the freshman catcher, had a single in the 7th. Then 2 batters away is Matthew Kim. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but someone that knows this team about as good as anyone in that dugout. 2-0 pitch. Fricky swinging and fouls it off. Game number 39 for the Thunderbolts this season. Finished the regular season 11-26, getting the 8th seed, winning their first game last night, and now tonight, send out towards left field. Palms dives, and Fricky is able to reach. 3-hit day for Connor Fricky. Senators within inches of ending it, but a lifeline extended to the Thunderbolts. Can they capitalize? It's the young freshman Schmelzer with a chance to bring the T-Bolts closer.
Wow, how close of a play was that? Diving for it and just missing it. But the Thunderbolts are still alive. Take a deep breath. Kai Schmelzer, kid, this is your moment.
This is Kai's moment. Came up with Fricky on first base in the 7th. Laced a single to left to push him to third. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Ladder height on Schmelzer's blue jersey, and it's 0-1. 19th game for Kai Schmelzer. 5-game hit streak. He's 6 for his last 11. Swings away, fouls it off, and the T-Bolts down to their final strike. 3-1 ball game. The Senators, the champions of the South for the first time in their history. Just 4th year in the league for Southern Maryland. And finally achieving the pinnacle of the South Division, dethroning the Alexandria Aces. 0-2 pitch. Schmelzer takes strike 3. That is the ball game. The Senators move on. And for the Thunderbolts, their season is over.
Wow. What a heartbreaker. Kai Schmelzer just took that pitch for strike 3. It was well placed. But what a season it was, and what a fight the Thunderbolts put up. Emilio Rodriguez, Michael Presky, both guys pitched their hearts out. But 3 runs was enough for the Senators to win it. They produced great pitching of their own, and they were the better team today, but the Thunderbolts fought with everything they had and almost beat the Southern champions.
Final score at Regency Furniture Stadium, Senators 3, Thunderbolts 1. For Southern Maryland, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Thunderbolts 1 run on 8 hits with no errors. Silver Spring, we knew they were a good offensive team. It's been their calling card this season. Had been close in a lot of games against tough competition. But today, the offense proved to be the downfall. Just couldn't get anything going against a very good Southern Maryland staff. Started with Brody Johnson, who went 6 scoreless innings as the starting pitcher. Has a bid for one of the best pitchers in this league, and I think he might have solidified his case with that outing today. Senators are off to tomorrow night. They will get the Bethesda Big Train in a best-of-3 playoff series. Replicates where they finished last season. They won a playoff game to get to a semifinal matchup with the Big Train. They actually won the first game, too, against Bethesda, but then dropped the next 2 at Povich. And the eventual Big Train ended up becoming a 3-peat champions and winners of 8 of the last 9 Ripken League titles. Silver Spring Tacoma will finish their season with a record of 12-27. They finished the regular season on a 4-game losing streak, but the highlight of the year has to be that game last night, Brian, where they were pulling it out, led the entire way really against a Gaithersburg team that had their number the entire season. Almost got disastrous in the 9th, but I think that just showed what this team is all about.
Right, and it feels like they flipped the switch on the season. The pitchers were the ones that held their own, and the batters did enough last night to win against Gaithersburg. But Wade Hartrick, how about him having his best performance in that game? Tonight it was Rodriguez. Tonight it was Mike Presky. But every single guy that came in had their best outings, and they fought hard. Really, this Thunderbolts team, the way that the dugout was last night, the way that the fan base came out and supported them, it felt like that energy that was built up throughout the year, even when they were losing games, just staying confident, staying close together on the team, that helped them propel that win over Gaithersburg yesterday. And they fell short today, but what a season it's been so far for them. Tough way to end it, but congrats to the Senators.
3-1 final score. Senators advance to the semifinals. Thunderbolts bow out to the 3 seed. One of the best all-around teams in the Ripken League. For Southern Maryland, 3 runs on 5 hits with no errors. Thunderbolts 1 run on 8 hits with no errors. Brody Johnson collects the win for Southern Maryland. He moves to a record of 5-1, has a league-leading 5 wins as a starting pitcher. Emilio Rodriguez pitched well, but is in line for the loss. He falls to 0-2. Ryan Conrad picks up a save, his first of the season. Starting is 4:33, time of the game, 2 hours and 18 minutes after it wrapped up at 6:51. T-Bolts can't get it done. Would have been a miraculous night here at Regency Furniture to win 2 straight on the road and then advance to the semifinals. So close, but unable to pull this one out. Patrick, you've been around the team. You understand how this coaching staff has developed and how the team has developed over this season. Curious what you think is the outlook after this season comes to an end.
Well, first of all, this was a great game all around. I mean, it was a treat to watch a pitcher's duel. Brody Johnson absolutely shoved, and Emilio Rodriguez did all that he could. Ultimately, the T-Bolts just fell short, and it was a great season for them overall. All things considered, maybe the regular season doesn't reflect the way that they want it to on paper, but they got a postseason win. They can hang their hat on that, which they did yesterday against Gaithersburg on the road, and it was just a lot of great things happened this year. I mean, these players are now better than they were when they got here, which is, always a positive takeaway. And, yeah, I think this team's got a good outlook. I think they'll go into next year with a new crop of guys. I have no doubt that Brock Hunter and Max Eckert are going to steer the ship in the right direction. And it's been a lot of fun covering this team. So this is my last few minutes on the air. I appreciate everyone tuning in to the streams. At least I can personally say that. It was just a blast to cover this team. And I'll probably be back next summer, so won't take up too much time. But, yeah, thank you all. We appreciate the support. And this was a super fun experience over a 2-month season.
Yeah, listeners at home, you're going to have to bear your next 10 months without hearing Patrick Moran on your airwaves. Voice of the Thunderbolts over the past 2 years, and grateful for Patrick Moran for all that he does for the T-Bolts and their media staff. Now joined by Sam Bergstrom. Sam, do it all, jack of all trades, writer, Swiss Army knife, social media, and broadcaster. Any final thoughts as the T-Bolts bow out to the Senators 3-1?
Well, if there's one word to describe how the Thunderbolts have played against the Senators this season, it's definitely been heartbreak. Of course, losing by 1 run in their first 4 matchups, and then coming in here today in a bit more of a pitcher's duel, I would say. Every pitcher looks stellar today on both sides. And you can definitely see that effect in playing in a more advanced ballpark here at Regency Furniture Stadium. But overall, I really enjoyed working with the Thunderbolts this season. I think this team definitely has a lot of heart. They're definitely the closest team in the league. Their offense is certainly an exciting one, and we saw that today with the Trent Lopez RBI single, and even guys like Kai Schmelzer reaching base a couple of times. You got to think just about how bright the future is for a lot of these guys who are, some of them are only just beginning their baseball journeys like Kai, and to watch them this summer, it's definitely been special, and yeah, it's been a blast. Let's say that.
Absolutely. Great to hear from you, Sam, for all the work that you've done this season. He writes the game recaps. He writes feature stories. Those are great. Check him out at tbolts.org. Appreciate you, Sam, for all that you've done for this squad throughout these past 2 months. It's been a fun summer for us here in Silver Spring. It's been a fun summer for us to be able to bring you T-Bolts coverage. And before we go, turn things over to the third and final member that we've yet to hear from, Brian Alves. Brian, a year with the Thunderbolts is in the books. Basically a hectic kind of sprint of 2 months. You look back at it, T-Bolts, a lot of results they didn't like, but a team that grew, and anything you have to say about the end of the season, maybe for you personally or just for the team.
Well, I think for both me and the T-Bolts, it's been a new experience. I was new to baseball, never called a baseball game before on the air, and both teams kind of had to find their ways. Well, I'm not a team, but individually and as a team, we had to find our way this summer against some tough competition. The Thunderbolts couldn't put it together early in the season, but as the season went on, you just felt the vibe change. The regular season didn't go how they planned, but you could certainly see the development by all of these different players. Brock Hunter gave everybody an opportunity. Everybody did their thing. We saw guys like Iden Prell really turn things around at the end of the season. Sam Camacho Jr. became a huge highlight defensively, and the bat got going. Kai Schmelzer, once again, as Sam was saying, put it together. Really, all of these guys are headed in the right direction in their baseball careers, and it was just a great opportunity to call this summer.
Appreciate it, Brian. It's been great sharing the mic with you. Been a ton of fun working with you and the rest of this team to be able to bring you the Thunderbolts over the airwaves and on social media. That'll just about do it for us. To summarize, the Senators take down the Thunderbolts by a final score of 3-1. The 3-seed Southern Maryland moves on to tomorrow night. They'll start a best-of-3 semifinal series at Povich Field against the reigning three-peat champions, the Bethesda Big Train. Other semifinal is still waiting to see who the other team will be. Only awaits the winner of Alexandria and South County. That game just started from South County High School. The Braves, the 4-seed and the home team, looking to advance for their first semifinal in a couple of years. That'll just about do it for us. T-Bolts bow out of this season. Got a big win last night, but are unable to do it today against the Senators. For my partner Brian Alves, rest of the media team, broadcaster Patrick Moran, writer/broadcaster Sam Bergstrom, social media man Nick Ronholm, and every single one watching at home, we appreciate you, we love you, and we say from Regency Furniture Stadium, so long and